All right, guys, Brandon Oquendo here, real estate broker, serial entrepreneur out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Just wanted to sit down and kind of go over my strategies for 2024. It is January of 2024 right now, so I'm putting together kind of my strategies and what I'm going to try and accomplish this year in terms of my real estate business. So like, subscribe, and follow this page. Make sure you hit the notification button so it lets you know when new content is coming out. And let's dive into it. So 2024, I think, is going to be sort of similar to 2023. The difference is I don't think we're going to see interest rates rising. So I personally think we're going to see interest rates coming down. 2024 is going to be an election year. Anytime we have an election year, it is the primary objective of the politicians to make sure that rates go down so that they get reelected. We've seen some sliding in interest rates over the past few weeks, and that has actually led to a significant uptick in just the real estate market that I've noticed. So I've seen people calling more on listings, people trying to get into properties more, not so much sitting on the sideline. And now, since the holidays are over, even more so. Traditionally, real estate, just based on the holidays, the market tends to slow down at that time. So we're coming out of the holidays, we're going into an election year. I think you're going to start to see rates sort of come down a little bit. So we have this weird time where we have no inventory. We have buyers that are really dying to buy properties. Interest rates have been high, so a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines waiting for those to come down. And now we're sort of starting to experience that. So I think this year is going to be a much busier year than last year in real estate. I think you're going to see a lot more transactions. I think you're going to see a lot of buyers that are coming off the sidelines and actually start purchasing. I've already started to notice it in my business. And so I think that's the trajectory that we're going. So I think one of the big hot buttons, and you've already seen it in 2023, going into 2024, with interest rates as high as they still are probably going to be, and people in currently low interest rates, is creative financing. That used to sort of have like a stigma behind it. So people were really unaware of what creative financing was, and they always thought it was sort of nefarious and shady. And within the last couple years, you've seen that sort of come to the forefront as kind of this new buzzword. Everybody's doing creative financing now. And so I think variations of that going into 2024 are going to be really important strategies that you can learn to try to capitalize on the market. And what I mean by that is, how can you get people that are in existing homes with existing loans to allow you to continue to use those loans going forward and keep those rates that they have? I think really those strategies going into 2024 are going to be super, super important, because it is a unique time. I've been in real estate for 20 years and I've never seen a market like this, where we have people that are dying to buy properties. We have people that don't want to sell their properties, and we have people that have really low interest rates, and we have people that are still willing to buy homes at higher interest rates. So there's money to be made potentially even for people that have low interest rates. Maybe they can arbitrage those interest rates. And when I say that, I mean, let's say you have a 3% interest rate and you want to sell or finance your property to somebody, you might be able to charge them 5%. They're still getting a smoking interest rate. You're making a little bit of money on your interest, and it's a good way to get passive income as somebody who owns a home. Maybe you're an investor, maybe you're not looking to be like a crazy investor, but you just want to get some return on investment in this market. So capitalize on those interest rates if you can. Talk to real estate brokers, talk to some really creative people that do this in the space, that are knowledgeable. When you're doing the creative stuff, make sure you're talking to people that really know what they're talking about, because there's a lot of new people coming into that space that think they're their creative geniuses, and you can get into trouble in some cases when you're doing creative financing. I know it's a scary thing to talk about, but most people don't like to talk about it, which is a due on sale clause. So if a lender finds out that you're financing that property, there is a chance that they could call that note due, and then you're in a position where you have to kind of figure out what to do. Obviously, it's kind of the boogeyman when it comes to real estate. I've never seen a lender call a due on sale clause, but it is in every contract. It is possible. So just recognize what you're doing. Make sure when you are talking to people about creative financing that you're getting the full picture of what that looks like. Another strategy that I'm going to continue to use, that I've used in the years past and I'll use going forward, is hard money. So hard money got really expensive over the last year because interest rates went up so high. Most people don't know hard money is money that you're borrowing from not a traditional institution. So whether that's an investor who has capital, whether that's somebody who has a portfolio of money that they lend out. Traditionally though, those rates are a lot higher than what they are when you're getting conventional financing. So you're gonna pay on average to a private money lender, let's say 10 to 12%. That's pretty standard on a hard money loan. So there's two parts of that. You wanna make sure when you're figuring out, calculating how you're borrowing money, that you recognize there's two parts of that. You're paying money up front to borrow the money, and you're paying higher interest rate to borrow that money. Some investors will really try to take advantage of you. If you don't know what you're doing, there's lenders out there who will take advantage of that. So recognize there's lots of people that do hard money. There's lots of places to find hard money. If you need some of those sources, hit me up and I can definitely give you some places that I like to look for hard money. But traditionally that comes down to just finding people in your local market that have capital, that are looking to lend it out. And then last but not least is just conventional financing. So one of the other ways that I traditionally buy properties is going to a regular lender, a lender in this case that I've built a relationship with, and you just get conventional financing. So that's 10, 20, 25% down that you're putting on a property and you're financing the rest. Now keep in mind, if you're buying a property conventional and it's an investment property, you are going to pay a higher interest rate. They're going to penalize you for that. So anytime you can buy a property as a primary residence, you're gonna get a preferred rate from a conventional lender. That doesn't apply to hard money or creative financing. That does apply to conventional financing though. So keep that in mind. I want to make another video actually breaking down the difference between conventional and hard money, but we'll keep going down this path right now. So right now you're looking at two different options. You have conventional financing, you have hard money financing. So 2024, my strategy is going to be a little bit different. Usually I use an accumulation strategy. So every year I try to accumulate a certain amount of properties. In this case, my strategy is probably going to be liquidate. So I'm going to try and liquidate a couple of the projects that I have. And when I say liquidate, I don't mean get rid of. I'm not trying to sell them. I'm just trying to complete them. So I have some lots that I've been sitting on that I bought a couple years ago that have appreciated a ton, that I'm going to do some development on. I have a couple pieces of property that I'm ready to start doing some builds on. So my objective this year is to really start pushing those projects through. There's a huge glut in the market for new construction right now. When inflation was going through the roof, all of these contractors and builders started sitting on the sideline. They stopped building essentially. The country's already super short on units, and so now we're really, really short on units, and I think we're gonna see it in the next probably year. We're gonna see that sort of come to fruition, and I think it's gonna be impactful. So I really wanna get ahead of that and start building on some of these properties that I have. I was waiting to see sort of what happened with the market. I feel confident that we've already seen what they consider the hard landing or the soft landing of the economy. I think going forward, we've already seen the bottom. So I kind of think we're on an upward trajectory. So my plan is to finish some of the projects I have, accumulate a little bit less. You guys have seen the project that I've been working on for the past couple years, that luxury twin home development. My plan is to get those last couple units either moved or rented. I'm super close on getting that completed. So finish that project out in terms of the marketing and selling of that project, put that one behind me, move on to my next project. That's a big goal I have this year. So accumulate a little bit less, focus on the projects I have going forward, get those dialed in and done, and then go into 2025 really swinging. That being the case, I'm always in accumulation mode, so keep that in mind. I'm always looking for deals. There's never a time where I'm turning down deals. I'm just looking for less deals right now. I'm not spending as much time looking for deals just because I don't think there's as many good deals out there unless you're really getting into some of that creative financing stuff. So those are the things I'm really gonna be looking at in 2024. Creative finance deals, trying to find good development deals, finishing up projects that I'm currently working on right now, trying to wrap up some projects that I've been working on for the last little while, get this year buttoned up. Election years are always scary years. You never really know what's gonna happen. It's either gonna be a change of administration or it's gonna be the same administration, and that's gonna determine where we go for 2025. So my plan is just to keep things dialed in, buttoned up, really work on some strategies for this year, really improve some systems, try to grow this construction business as well. So that's my plan for 2024. If you like content like this, like, subscribe, follow my page, and make sure you hit that notification button.